Hi, I'm Phoebe. I'm a student here at Leeds, and today I'm going to talk to you about Christianity as a means of connection. So, I want to start by telling you a quick story. So, a few weeks ago, on the train home, and seat next to me is empty, stop at Sheffield, old lady gets on next to me. Talking for a little while, she'd lost her glasses, just a little bit of small talk, and then I noticed she had a massive cross. Complimented it, and she tells me I'm a sister in a religious order. Pretty cool. But she wasn't in her habit, which is why I didn't pick up on it initially. I think I'm pretty smart. She asked me where I was going. I said, going to Derby, which is where I'm from. East Midlands represent. And at that point, you realise we now had two things in common. Both Christians, Anglican, and we both lived in the same small suburb of Derby for most of our lives. She lived just down the road at the convent from me my entire life. Never met her, yet I meet her on a train in Sheffield. What are the chances? It was slightly surreal to realise that I've gone past this convent a million times in my life, yet I meet her somewhere, we weren't in our hometowns at all. We were having such a lovely conversation in the train. I was actually quite sad to get off at Derby. I wanted to just carry on and talk to her the whole journey. Okay, so I've said this, but how does this link to Christianity as a means of connection? Well, our meeting was completely unexpected, and she was 80 years old. I'm 19. That's a 61-year age gap. Yet we were able to talk and have this great connection because of our faith. It didn't matter that we have completely different life experiences. It was just so refreshing, and her joy in Jesus was so inspiring to me. Hebrews 12:1 says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up." What I think this verse is saying is that the cloud of witnesses, all of us, are all completely different from one another, whether it be our age, ethnicity, race, or culture. But interacting with people who are really different from us is something that I think is so important for our walk with Jesus. The diversity of this church is such a huge strength, and getting to know people who have got different experiences and different perspectives to us can be really encouraging for our own faith. The main thing that I want you all to take away from this is to get out of your bubble and be more open to interacting with people who are really different from yourselves. I know that I'm very guilty of this. I'm a student. I just talk to the other students because I know them, and it's easy, and we go, "Oh, what do you study? What uni are you at?" It's very easy to figure out things that we have in common. But I think it's really important to push yourselves and just make the effort to speak to someone, whether they're older than you, younger than you, or just completely different. And I've thought of a few practical ways you could be applying this. For example, if this service is your regular service, why not try going to the 10:30 service? Or to a service at Holy Trinity or St. Augustine Renthorns? That could be really interesting for you to gain new experiences. Or, as we saw in the video earlier, you could serve in the church. So many different roles, there's something for everyone. And I think it's a really great way to meet people who you wouldn't interact with otherwise. For example, this year I joined the PCC as a student representative, and going to the meeting last Monday, I barely knew anyone. It's quite scary. I'm sat there going, I know about 2 people here, but by the end of the meeting, it was so lovely to have interacted with people who go to the morning service or who are a lot older than me, and it was just really lovely that the one thing we have in common is our love for Jesus and for this church. I would really encourage you all to speak to someone new at the end of this service. Just go up to them, say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so, nice to meet you. let's talk about something that we got in common. And also, I think, just be praying for everyone in the church, or maybe a specific group within the church. So if you're a student, you could pray for the youth, or for the children, or for people a lot older than you, and like vice versa. I think that could be really valuable for everyone. Thank you for listening. God bless.